Creative problem solving. How can you select a solution? We've got 1, 2, 3 ways to solve a problem, resolve a problem, dissolve a problem. What is the difference between resolve, solve, and dissolve? With the resolve, this is the key word. You want to satisfy, you want to settle for the situation that is good enough rather than the best solution. If you go with solve, you want to optimize. That's when you systematically identify the solution with the best combinations of benefits. And then dissolve, that's when you want to change the situation in which the problem occurs so that the problem no longer exists. Do you guys see those three? So, if you fail the exam, you can resolve it by doing what's good enough. Get a D. You pass. You move on. And you do what it takes you to get that D. That's you resolve it. If you want to solve it, you failed the exam, what is the best solution now? I want to get the optimal solution, and I find the best combination of benefits. So I need to get those friends, and I need to set this number of hours, and I need to read with this focus, and then I can get an A. You see? And the dissolve, I failed because I don't have time, so let's continually drop the course, so I'm no longer in a fail. The situation has changed, and there's no longer a problem. Do you see? Do you understand between solve, resolve, and dissolve?
Yes.
Here you satisfy, you optimize, you change the situation. Here you get what's good enough. Here you get what's best. Here there is no longer the problem. Implementing evaluating the situation, effective and inefficient resolution removes the differences between actual and desired states. And if problem persists, you want to recycle through the problem-solving steps, become necessary, try other feasible solutions, redefine the problem, and begin the problem-solving cycle again. So you want to get the effective, efficient, find solution. You want to get what you want as what's in. So you want to get an A, and you actually get an A. And if you can't, then you want to redefine the problem. Maybe the problem is not in. You see, you redefine your problem, and then you can take the action again. This is the end of the chapter. Summary. Decision making is fundamental. Management, because it requires choosing among alternative courses of action. Managers must learn to assess the degree of certainty in a situation. They want to check, is it certain, it's risky, or uncertain. Researchers have identified 3 perceptual and behavioral decision traps that can undermine the quality of decision. They are framing error, when you look at the frame and you forget what's inside the picture. Escalation of commitment, and we said escalation of commitment, that happens when you start to throw good money after bad, and we said there are 3 main reasons: psychological, social, and organizational reasons. And then overconfidence, that's when you start to think that you are already good enough, and you think you can do it while you really can't. And then it says decisions generally are either programmed or non-programmed. Managers may choose to bring other people into virtually every aspect of the decision making, and creativity require the proper combinations of knowledge, imagination, evaluation to reorganize the experience. Continuation of the summary, it says the creative problem-solving process consists of 4 steps. Identify problem, generate alternative solutions, select solution, implement, evaluate. And then clear, concise statement of problem, form the head and the fishbone skeleton. And here are some terms to understand. Any question on these? Which one of these you'd like me to go over one more time before the quiz?
Programmed and unprogrammed decisions.
Programmed, they are already routine decisions. It's become a programmed decision. Every time we purchase, we hire. Anytime we do this, we do that.
Within the practice.
It is becoming a routine job. So it's a decision, but it's programmed. You don't do a lot of thinking. Sometimes they let the computer to make the decision. Do you see? For example, in our system here, if a student is absent, 25% of the number of lectures, the system automatically puts the student on an AW, automatic withdrawal. So that's a decision taken by the system. It's a routine to the point the computer system do it. While a non-routine decision is an example of a non-programmed, non-routine. So you need to solve a problem. You need to maybe get the people to decide. Creativity is when you take the problem and you reconfigure it.
It is more needed in the non-programmed.
Yes. You can also be creative and programmed. Okay, but you're a manager, your creativity is highly needed in problem solving. Any other questions?
Yes, satisfies.
Satisfice, optimize, idealize. We said the satisfice, that's with the resolve. That's when you get the good enough, get a D and pass. The optimize, that's when you want to solve the problem, and that's when you want to get the best option. You want to get the A. And the idealize, it's when you want to change the situation, you dissolve your problem, and the configuration of the problem is not there anymore.
Can you get the framing error and the escalation?
The framing error, that's when you decide to go with A, not because of the core competencies inside, rather than the frame or how it was presented. You look at a very nice decoration of this decision, and you make your decision based on the decoration, and you don't look at the core essence of what you want to make a decision on. So you mix it with the frame. And escalation of commitment. Escalation of commitment is, that's when you start to, remember you gamble. Remember when you say, someone says, will you do this? You say yes. That yes put you in an escalation of commitment. You shouldn't say yes. You should have said no. But you made that mistake, which was bad money. And then you throw more money. You spend more time, and you go and you find an excuse. And then now you need to spend a lot of effort because you already stepped into this escalator. Okay, I put it as an example of the escalator. Once you put your first step on it, it moves. It will take you. So if you think it's the wrong direction, you immediately jump. If you don't jump, then you're going in the wrong direction and you continue going in the wrong direction. Sometimes it becomes very expensive to do a return or a U-turn later on. The law of unintended consequences says that there are some times or many times where you take a decision because you think you're going in this direction, and unintentionally you find yourself in other consequences that you never thought will come to you. Do you see? Tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. Tacit knowledge in people's heads, explicit knowledge, it's already documented. And what we want is to do knowledge management is to go around between those two. Get knowledge in people's mind and written. New people, we teach their minds and we teach it written. So their hearts, their brains can find the information. We have it documented and undocumented, shared and written.
Yeah, the thinking style.
What is this?
Thinking style, actually.
Oh, the thinking style. We have the thinking style and intuitive style. Thinking style, you take it with your brain. Intuitive style, you take it with your heart. Thinking style, you base on data. You do statistics. You go back to the facts. You check them. You make the decision that is logical. While intuitive style is more about, from your guts, based on your previous experiences. And we learned 7 different or 8 different ways to sharpen our intuition. How can, an LB Dalili be true for a good manager? And what is saying today in management is we need more intuitive managers, because thinking style is time consuming and not always easy for managers to make. So intuitive managers, they do overall better. So you should sharpen your intuition. Other questions? You guys ready for the quiz?